Hey, back me, Jeff here again, jumping on another thread. Yes, we are going to jump on another thread that I thought was interesting. I learned, so this thread was started by Jonas over at Vinyl Stockholm, which I admit I was unaware of his channel up until this time. I learned of the thread through Peter over at Music is a Journey, who did this thread, who had learned that from Yakov, who his channel has disappeared now. And I had commented on that, mentioned that the other day, that his channel disappeared when I did a shout out for one of my other contest entries. But anyway, so yeah, see, that's how threads work. You learn about new things from new people. And so that's what has led me here. And this one is about UFOs, space travel, aliens, anything along that line. And so I thought, well, I could have some fun with that because I have some examples of that too. Now, it could be songs, it could be titles, it could be bands, whatever. There's all kinds of ways you could approach this. I admit Jonas showed a bunch of stuff because, I mean, our musical styles are drastically different. He showed a lot of stuff, a lot of early psych stuff, bands I was not familiar with, songs that were very intriguing, things I could be on the lookout for now, but I was totally unaware of. Obviously, I'm going to be going a little more mainstream, and most of these bands, a lot of people, at least that probably listen to me, are probably familiar with. So let's get right into this. We're going to start with the obvious one that anybody in my genre of music would go with, and that is the band UFO. This is their first album with Michael Schenker, Phenomenon, where it's got a UFO there. So the name, the imagery, and so, you know, that would be a good little entry there. UFO, the band. And then we're going to move into, let's get this other way so we can see it, but and we could have went with a couple different ones. I thought this one was cool because it has a spaceship on it, but Space Invasion by Ace Frehley, the spaceman of the Kiss world. This was one of his solo albums. Space Invasion's got the spaceship on there and everything. I thought about using Spaceman, which has him on a throne, but this is a little more spacey with the ship and everything. So yeah, you've got the imagery there of his being from space. So got that there. This is one that actually I picked this album up. I showed a couple videos ago, not too long ago, and it immediately came to mind. But Steve Vai's Flexable album. Look at that little guy on the front. He's in a spaceship there, and it's got the funny song on here, "Little Green Men." And it talks about the little green men coming to space and talking to humans, and you know, etc., etc. So that whole song is just it's kind of a funny song, but also it's got, I assume, Steve Vai's ideas on what he thinks about the little green men and abductions and stuff like that. So just some fun stuff there. And then we got one. This is cool because there's a couple albums by this, but it's actually Arjun Anthony Lucason's Star One. He's the guy behind Arion. He's played in a band called Vengeance, everything. Just a musician of musicians. Great stuff. He did a couple. This was like the early album. This was this was years ago. I forget. It just got recently reissued on vinyl. This is the first one, Star One, and all the songs. Well, I guess it's kind of like that for most albums, but this one still rings in my mind as memorable. All the songs are songs about science fiction movies, so everything from Dune to Star Wars and things like that. So the songs are all written about that. If you listen to the words, you're like, oh, okay, he's talking about this movie. And there have been, I have 3, so I'm assuming I think there's only 3 Star One albums that have been released over the past couple decades, and they have all been released on vinyl, and I do have them. There's a spaceship on there too. So this is kind of cool because all the songs are themed around some kind of a space story, and so that would be definitely in line with that. And then the 5th one, he went to see 5, is from the, not the latest Dream Theater album, but the prior to the latest Dream Theater. They have the song, which was one of the first singles on here, called The Alien. It's listed on the hype sticker there. And again, it's a song about aliens, and I thought it was a cool song when it came out, an interesting idea, and it's about aliens. So I figured that would be a good one just to have a single song about that. Now, as a throw-in bonus track, let's call it a bonus track, I'm going to throw in 1976 Larry Norman, In Another Land. Larry Norman, now he's considered kind of like the grandfather of Christian rock, because he was doing cutting-edge folk, psych-ish music that was a little too edgy for the church in the late 60s and 70s, and he caused a big turmoil. Anyway, this is one of his most popular albums, and one of his most popular songs is called UFO, which is on this album. And he is equating a visible return of Christ on the clouds as being an unidentified flying object. So that's the idea behind his song, is that Jesus is an unidentified flying object. So I just figured I would throw in as a little fun there, because my friends in the Christian realm would say, hey, you forgot to mention that, because that is a very pivotal song, very popular song by Larry Norman. So I thought it was worth mentioning. Number 6 bonus track there. So anyway, check it out. I'll have a link below to Joe's channel. You can check it out. Be new to you, maybe like he was to me. And if you want, jump on this thread. It's fun. There's aliens everywhere. Anywhere you look, you see aliens, and you can talk about them too. I'll see you later. Rock on and rock hard.